and welcome back to the Puck Drop Podcast. We are here for season 2, and it's our first full season, Harry, isn't it?
It will be, yeah. I'm excited to have a full season of the podcast.
Exactly. We can actually get people on. As in today's episode, we have got someone on. You know, we're starting off early, getting in the big guns. You know, putting the I don't know, but basically. Season 2 means we are probably going to bring out a lot more episodes than we did last year, because I think last year we only had, 6?
5.
Five.
Yeah.
So we had 5, and it was a good, all in all, a good start, in my opinion. But I think
Good start, but we're coming back bigger and better.
Exactly, yeah. I'm coming back bigger. I've grown about 5 inches. But basically, this year is just going to be full of a lot more stuff, and well, considering that we haven't spoken about this much, let's go all the way back to the beginning of this summer, where our team, now known as Romford Raiders, it was a bit officially, it was a bit uncertain on what was going to happen, because obviously ownerships were being changed, and we had our old owner John Scott, and he's officially stepped back, as well as a few other people such as Sean Easton and a few players leaving. But at the start of the season, Harry, how did you feel? Because obviously we all stood there almost in a bit of a mystery, really, of what was actually going to happen. So what did you think at that point was going to happen to your club?
I mean, at that point, it had me feeling a bit like how many of the Bison fan must have felt after finding out that because of their rink situation, they wasn't going to be able to join for been the past 2 seasons. But it's been great to see the new management stepping up. And so far they seem to be doing a great job. Now got behind the goal replays on the stream, looking absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think things have almost, we're taking a big change, and it's been good. It's been a good change. It's not been a bad change. And it's almost like we're looking up. We're not looking bad. So yeah, I think at that
the only way is up, 100%.
exactly. And the fact is that at that point in the summer, when you've got other teams around you, MK and Leeds, they're just announcing these players,
Player after player.
And we're sat there and we haven't got a single person. And then the first signing gets made, and you're thinking, okay, right, we're finally here. And then it just keeps the player signings keep rolling in, and then all of a sudden you've got a full squad. And we started our signings 3 weeks late? Not late, but 3 weeks late compared to other teams. So
but I'll tell you what, Brody, announce it. I called it Captain Jack Cooper. I was calling it from the very start, and then right on the evening of my birthday, they announced Captain Jack Cooper. I mean, you can ask my cousin. I screamed with joy. That man is an absolute fucking legend. Pardon my French.
As everyone can tell, listening to this podcast, Harry likes Jack Cooper.
Just a little bit.
This year, we've got new players, new coaches, a whole load of just new things, new volunteers, new positions opening up at the club. And it's all just looking a bit, it's all looking good. We've figured stuff out. We're back to hockey, and this weekend we have got Swindon Wildcats and the big Leeds night, Milton Keynes. We've got the big Milton Keynes, and
it's definitely not going to be an easy weekend by any stretch of the imagination. But it'll be good. It'll be good to see how the boys face up to the challenge going into the new season with this practically rebuilt squad.
Yeah. And I was saying the other day, the Swindon Wildcats squad is a very tall squad. They're going to be a big powerhouse when it comes to just on the puck near the boards and all that. So the boys are going to have to get ready and make sure they are prepared for a physical type of game. That's probably going to happen. And also playing Milton Keynes away, that's always a very tough start to the season. But I believe in our boys. I believe in everything that's gone on for the last couple of months at the club. And obviously we are hoping we can come away with a decent weekend and just hopefully make a name for ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, seeing how the boys played in the preseason game against the Phantoms and then the preseason games against Invicta, I think it's made a lot of the fans excited to see what this new squad's capable of. Especially as our win against the Phantoms at home was pretty spectacular, but then obviously away we were a bit shaky. But first away game with that squad, I mean, could put it down to a lot of things. So I think it's definitely going to be interesting seeing their away performance. Because obviously you're always going to play different when you're not in your own barn, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that showed this weekend in the last couple of weekends ago against Peterborough with a 6-3 result at our place, but then we unfortunately lost 6-0 at their place. But it's not to say that we were terrible. We were it was still a good squad. It was a good starting point for us getting one win out of two. With actually quite a big score, 6-3. It's not what you see all the time. And then moving into the Invicta weekend after that, and we just decided to go and
Invicta weekend was absolutely phenomenal.
we just decided to go dominate.
And seeing such a young goalie, Max Van Mullem, he performed absolutely amazingly.
Speaking of Max Van Mullem,
Speaking of Max Van Mullem,
he's here. He is here. Not here right now, but
he's here right now. Yeah,
he was here. he was here.
He was here,
He was
and
here.
we'll play that for you at some point during the episode.
I mean, we could do it now. There's nothing stopping us. We've got the control. We could do it now.
And
we could do it
straight to the interview. So for this week's interview, we have one of the Buccaneers netminders, Max Van Mullem. He made his senior debut last weekend against the Dynamos, and now he's making his podcast debut right now. Welcome, Max. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So, should we jump straight into the questions?
Yep, I think so.
So, making your senior debut with the Raiders must have been a big moment. Can you share what it was like stepping onto the ice for the first time with the team?
Yeah, man, it was amazing. I could hear the crowd cheering, everyone. Like when we got on the ice and all the lights were flashing, that was a real cool experience for me. I've never really experienced it before, so that was amazing. But yeah, it was a real honor that when I got asked by Adam Lasham to come up back up for Phantoms, and then obviously playing against Invicta was just it was something else, man. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
And speaking of Invicta, you was awarded man of the match during the home game against them. So, what aspects of your play do you think led to that recognition, and how did it feel to receive your first man of the match at this level?
My first man of the match, yeah, man.
In your first game.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. I was just trying to maintain my confidence throughout the game, just be as aggressive as I can. I don't want to be too far in, because I've had it happen to me before, and I've made a couple of mistakes from it. So I've kind of been learning from it. So like I said, I've been showing some confidence. And yeah, I was really shocked when I got man of the match. It was a shame when we got the beers though, because obviously I'm too young, so I had to swap my beer for one of the Cokes in the fridge. So
Yeah. I mean, fancy getting man of the match beers when you're not old enough to drink them, eh?
yeah, I know it's gonna be a bit hard this year.
So, I know you touched on it briefly during the first question, but during the the preseason games at home, how did you find the atmosphere, and how did the fan support, especially at home, affect your performance?
Well, both home and away, the fans, the Raiders fans were amazing. Like they were probably the loudest I've ever heard them on that weekend, and yeah, they were just always there. Like when I'd make a save, they'd be cheering me along, and yeah, they were just they were really good. I could really hear them cheering. I could hear they were saying the good old golden blue chant, which I really like. So yeah, it was really exciting. I was buzzing basically.
I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I think we are probably the loudest and proudest fans in the
Yeah, no,
league.
you're probably right with that one.
Yeah. And to be fair, the chants that the main stand come out with sometimes are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing. I do love their chants.
And so obviously you're gonna have a similar level of support with the Buccaneers, and you're set to make your debut this weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
So how are you preparing mentally and physically for the start of the season?
Well, I'm just gonna go back to how I was doing with when we were playing against Invicta, just trying to maintain my confidence and just be myself basically. I don't want to overthink it because that's another thing that I did struggle with. So yeah, that's definitely something that I will be constantly practicing throughout the season just to be more confident and just yeah, just me being myself, not overthinking. I think it will be a good game when we play against Oxford. So fingers crossed that goes well.
So do you think the games with Invicta have prepared you more for the start of the NIHL one season with the Buccaneers?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I definitely feel much more prepared than before. It's definitely gotten rid of the first senior game nerves because that was one thing that I was kind of worrying about, just the nerves of playing your first senior game in front of actual fans this time. In juniors we'd be playing in front of parents, and, a couple of fans, but this is now like actual fans that are paying to watch the game. So that's my nerves have kind of dropped a bit, I think. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the game brings, what the overall season brings. But yeah, I don't really know how much ice I'll get as well. But one thing I know is that I'll be happy to learn everything from my goalie partner, who is Sonny Phillips. He's like my mentor this year.
Yeah, Sonny Phillips is an absolutely phenomenal goalie, and I know
He is.
Brody quite likes him as well. Um, I think we're gonna try and get him on at some point because we'll be interested to hear what he has to say.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so obviously you've met both the Raiders and the Buccaneers now. So how have they supported you in your transition to senior hockey, and have any of the veterans given you any advice for the upcoming season?
Well, yeah. So I've been training with the Raiders and the Buccaneers since last November now. So it's been quite a while since I've been practicing. So I've been gaining confidence, just getting used to the shot speed and the overall speed of the game is it's much faster. So I've definitely been going through that. Some tips. I've definitely got some good tips from Ethan James. He's been coaching me since since I was little. So he's definitely been helping me a lot throughout the last couple of months with transitioning into seniors. So he's been very good with it. Jack Cooper as well. He's given me some great advice. Just telling me to keep being myself. No matter what happens, that's basically what he's been saying. So he's been a real. Basically the whole team have been a real big help to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think off the ice, they're some of the loveliest guys I've ever met, to be fair.
Yeah, 100%. They're really nice guys.
So, I had a little bit of a stalk of your elite prospects, and I saw that you represented Great Britain under 16. So, how did that experience shape your development as a netminder, and what lessons have you carried over? Well, will you be carrying over to senior hockey?
Yeah, it was amazing as well. I was really honored to be playing for Great Britain in Latvia uh in I think it was April or June, but it was such a great experience. I learned so much. It's just so crazy how cuz we were playing against teams like um teams in Finland, teams from Finland, teams from Latvia, and just the way that they play is so much different to how we play in the UK. So it's great to just learn and see how they play compared to how we play, because we could probably bring back some of how they play, and then we could, you know, try and catch some teams out playing a different way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. So, I know obviously you're still a junior, playing for the Buccaneers, right? So, what are you finding being your biggest challenges balancing school, hockey, um, and how are you staying focused on your development?
Well, yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a struggle. I think the most struggling bit has probably been trying to keep homework in there as well, because I've got school, and then I've got hockey training in the evening, so it's definitely yeah, a bit tough at some bits, but I try and, because I'm in sixth form now, I've got a little a couple, sorry, I've got less lessons now, so I get to be able to do some of my schoolwork, some of my homework during school. But it is, yeah, I will not lie, it is very tiring after school, and you go into the evening, and then you got hockey. But I managed to grit through it, which is good.
I mean, eat, sleep, breathe hockey, right?
Yeah, eat, sleep, hockey, repeat. Exactly.
Um, so as a young goalie now playing in a senior league, what are your long-term goals for your hockey career? And are you how are you planning on using this opportunity with the Bucks to really jump your development?
Whoa, long-term goals. Well, I definitely want to be at Romford for a bit longer. Yeah, I'm loving it at Romford now. So definitely stay there. But I think for the near future, maybe hopefully I wouldn't mind playing somewhere in the elite league, because that's obviously a very big league, very competitive league. Like playing for a team, like I wouldn't I would really like to play for any team in the elite league, would be very nice. But I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably pick the Guildford Flames, because I obviously used to play for Guildford, their junior team. So I think coming back then and hopefully playing for their elite league team, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely had a very promising um, few games for the Raiders, and obviously your elite prospects is looking pretty great, especially at such a young age.
Thank you.
Um, so I think this is the last question before we move on to the fan questions. So obviously everyone has like those few people that they look up to in their respective fields. So is there any goalies, past or present, that you try and model your style after?
Um, well, that is a good question. That's another good question. I'd say probably in the I've got two actually. So in the UK, probably, definitely. I think you may know him. It's Tyler Delabatouche. I've really, yeah. He's like one of my biggest inspirations, probably in the UK, as well as many other people, of course. But I've known Tyler since I first started playing when I was still at Haringey. So when I first started playing, I met him, and he's just, ever since, he's been giving me like great tips, and seeing him how successful he is now at Bristol. That's kind of the pathway that I want to be going towards. And yeah, it's just great to see that how far he's gone as well. He's made it really far, and I'm excited to see how far he goes in the future. But the second goalie that I would look up to, who's not actually playing anymore, but he played for Nashville. It was Pecorine. He's a really good goalie. I really how do I say it? Looked up to him when I was younger. My number for Buccaneers is number 35, which is what Pecorine's number was when he played for Nashville. So that was, yeah, it's he's also a really inspirational goalie. He's been part of my life basically, and I was actually lucky enough back in I think it was June. I traveled to Finland for a hockey tournament, and there was the World Junior Championships there, and it was Canada versus Switzerland, and I was lucky enough to actually meet Pecorine there. So I got a picture with him, which was awesome. It was honestly, yeah, it was a dream to see him as well. I was kind of like so shocked, but yeah, it was amazing to see him.
To be fair, meeting some of the players that have made you love hockey is such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
because obviously I started watching hockey a few seasons ago because my cousin got me into it, and one game she took me to meet one of the players who first like jump started my interest, and yeah, that was a surreal feeling as well.
Yeah, it's really nice when you meet like your favorite player. It was really nice moment.
So Brody, are you ready with the fan questions?
I am. So Max, first of all, brilliant performance last weekend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
not many, not many. You know, I don't see that many good goalie performances, but yours was one of the best I've seen
Thank you very much. Thank you.
in ages. So anyway, we've got some questions from fans. Um, one of them is just not a question, so it will not be asked because it was Matty Bros. So, um, first of all, you've been asked, what is your favourite karaoke song?
My favorite karaoke song. I've got
Yeah.
loads of songs. Um, oh, that's actually quite a hard question. Probably, I've got one. Probably Tiago Silva by Dave and AJ Tracy. So, I mean, it's not really a karaoke song, but yeah, I love singing along to that song. I had like a initiation thing on the bus on the way back from Invicta, and I had to sing Tiago Silva in front of the fans and the players that were on the bus. So that was quite funny. But yeah, probably Tiago Silva is probably one of my favorites. Definitely.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's a good song. Um, then I don't know if you've sort of covered this question already, but someone's asked who's your dream team to play for. So this could be anywhere in the world, like
Anywhere
NHL,
in the world.
anywhere.
Well, I think definitely anywhere in the NHL would just be amazing to play for. It's
Yeah.
just I love every team. So whichever team I go to, I'd be more than happy to go to. I think in the UK, it would definitely be the Guildford Flames. But yeah,
Yeah.
same thing with the NHL. If I get the opportunity, then I'll be happy to go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think probably the Guildford Flames, and then if I had to pick a specific team in the NHL, it'd have to be the team that I support, which is the Anaheim Ducks.
Fair enough.
Oh man.
Harry, don't start. Harry, don't start. Don't start. Um, and then someone has just asked, and I think we already know the answer to this one, but is there a better surname in hockey? And we've all answered, we've all asked this in our heads, and we're saying there's just not anywhere. I mean, you hear Tyler Delabatouche, as you said, and that's
Yeah, that's a
quite
very nice surname as
that's
well.
one of them. That's one of the ones you go, whoa, he's called Delabatouche.
Yeah.
But Max Van Mullem is easily one of the
Oh, thank you.
one of the best I've heard. Because
Yeah,
I,
it's oh sorry,
yeah,
no, it's a Dutch surname from my dad's side. And some people some people they may spell it wrong or they may pronounce it wrong, but you guys have been pretty spot on with it actually.
yeah, exactly. That was it's fair. That we've had issues in the past with other players where the commentary team of away teams can't really pronounce the last names. I mean, they give it a
Yeah,
go.
shout
But
out Prevost.
Prevost was one of them for Prevo. But yeah, and then I have a question as well.
Okay.
So out of all the goalies you've seen and played with and played alongside, been against, who has had the best goalie setup? You know, pads and stick and all that. Who's had the best?
Um That's a good question. There have been some really good setups that I've seen. Like I've seen Ethan James has always got amazing custom warrior pads for the Raiders season. I love his pads.
Yeah,
Let me think. Who else? I think I've got to say probably Tyler's pads. I mean, I've already mentioned him, but his pads this year are amazing with the sponsors on them. They look super
yeah,
clean. I really like them, and his old pad designs have been really clean as well, which I really like. I like clean pads. I don't like you know when some people have pads that are got quite a busy design on them.
yeah. And you sort of,
Yeah, you
you
kind of
sort of,
lose track of it.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, yeah,
So
clean pads. They're
yeah,
they're probably the best. So I'm gonna have to say probably Tyler's pads are the best.
fair enough, fair enough. Max, obviously you've got and everyone has seen a very interesting screening technique against your opponents. So do you
Yeah.
want to explain a little bit about it, how it came about? What it's, what you think it does,
Yeah.
what it does, and all
Yeah.
that.
I don't actually have a name for it yet, so I'm gonna have to start thinking of a name for it. But actually, it started off maybe 2 years ago when I was still playing roller hockey. One of the older goalies that I was playing against was doing that move, and he managed to like put the player off, and I was and it kind of made the player start laughing. So I was kind of just like, oh, why not? It doesn't hurt to do it. So I started doing that, and I've been doing it ever since. And yeah, it makes the players laugh every time I do it. But yeah, but my mum says maybe not do it because I'll probably get punched in the face if I do it in senior hockey. So maybe
Don't worry,
best not to do it. I'm still gonna do it though.
you've got a team behind you. They'll be
Yeah, yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Don't you
I'm still
worry.
gonna do it. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I
Oh,
mean,
a couple 2 minutes won't hurt. 2-minute penalties.
the fans definitely love to see it. I haven't seen a single fan who hasn't loved that move.
Yeah, I've seen lots of fans do it. Both Raiders fans and actually the Invicta fans as well. When we were giving the round of applause, there were a couple
Yeah, I
Invicta
think.
fans who were doing that move as well, which was really funny.
Well, thank you very much, Max, for coming on. It's been
Thank you very much for having me.
wonderful having you on here. You've been such a friendly guy, and yeah, honestly, in the future, when you wherever you are, we'll maybe ask for you to come back on again and tell us your progress, and
Oh, definitely. I would be more than happy to come back on here.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you very much, and
Thank you very much. Yep.
have a good day.
Yep. You too.
Don't forget us when you're famous.
Yeah, of course not. I would never forget you guys.
So I hope you guys liked the interview with Max. I mean, we certainly enjoyed creating it with him. He's such a chill guy behind the scenes.
Such a positive
So
guy, I'll say that.
yeah.
You
So
look at him on the ice, and you sit there and you're like, oh, he can't stop smiling, can he?
fun fact,
But
I have never seen that guy not smiling.
that's true. I
And
don't think I've ever.
I think that's something we should all take away from this episode. Be more like Max Van Mullem, always smiling.
Positive. Don't let anything get you down. But yeah, so just looking at the season ahead, Harry, I did actually ask you before making this episode, can you possibly give me a few standout players? So, who are your, first of all, we'll do Romford Raiders players. Who are your standout Romford Raiders players?
So I've definitely got 3 key players that I think are gonna
By
be
the way, this
absolute.
list, I should reiterate, this list can include Buccaneers as well. So we're going
Okay.
to do Romford Raiders / Buccaneers list
So
of
yeah,
potential.
Romford, three Romford players with
Yes.
potential.
Yes.
So I've said this once on the podcast, and I will say it until my voice is gone. Jake Sylvester is so underrated. He is definitely one of my ones to watch this season.
Especially after the performance he's had as well, with a lot of a few goals, we'll say. A few.
Yeah, he
Um,
absolutely phenomenal.
yeah, it's like 1 minute he scored, and then I'm looking around and we've scored again, and I'm like, who scored? Oh, it's Jake Sylvester. And then you're like, wow, he's actually putting in a proper shift, and it's
Yeah,
great to see.
he's an absolutely outstanding player, and I'm
He's a
really
gem, isn't
looking
he?
forward. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play more this season. So, on to my second one to watch for the Romford team is actually Aidan Wilson
Oh,
coming down from Scotland.
my God.
And I think he's definitely got some good potential there. I know he iced for the Tigers last season and put up a lot of penalty minutes.
Oh, well,
I think
you
it
sort of
was
have to.
20. It was 27 in 16 games played.
Brilliant.
But
Good
I
aggression.
he definitely has some good potential that I think Adam Laystrom and the other coaches are definitely going to be able to nurture. I mean, he's only 19, so definitely.
Yeah.
And
I,
then
I his attacking sort of prowess in a way. It doesn't go unnoticed, and the fact that whenever I look out on the ice and it's him going out there and I see him, he's putting in aggression, he's putting in a shift, and he's not wasting his time. Because some players can go out there and look around, maybe look for one or two passes, and then they're off. But Aiden, he puts in aggression. He actually tries it and gets the puck up the ice, and I think we should all applaud that in a way because it is brilliant.
Yeah, and then when he has the puck, his puck handling and shot power is absolutely crazy. And like I said, he's only 19, so definitely a lot of. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of hockey left in him and a lot of talent that I think is going to shine this season.
Yeah.
So I actually have a third one and a bonus, but I'll get on to my bonus one. So
Who's your bonus?
let me do my third one first.
Right, go on. Do your
Jesus.
first. Do your third. Go on.
So my third one is actually a Buccaneer.
Oh, here we
Um,
go.
and you'll never guess who it is. We may have already spoke about him a few times already on the podcast.
Let me think. Is it Sean Easton?
No, it's not Sean Easton, unfortunately. It is Max Van Mullem.
Oh,
And
what a shocker!
I'll tell you what, the kid
Do
has
you know what?
loads of potential.
Do you know what you could do? You could say his name, and it stands for itself.
Yeah.
We're going to sit here and probably get a comment on this saying we're glazing him so hard. And do you know what? I'll say yes, we are, and
I mean,
we're proud of it. We're proud to do so because you know what? He was a lovely lad. He goes up there, tries his best, and the fact that the performance he had against Invicta was impeccable. No,
I
couldn't have
mean,
asked any more from him.
especially considering it was his first like proper senior game that he's
Yeah,
been on the ice for. So yeah, to get on the ice and put in a performance like that, absolutely phenomenal.
yeah.
But I think with our interview with him, we'll cover the rest of the reasons why he's on my ones to watch. So on to my bonus one,
Oh, you got a cheeky bonus. Go on. I'll let you.
because
I'll let you.
I didn't quite put him on one of my ones to watch because he's definitely got the hype from around the league. So I'm gonna have to say you should definitely keep your eye on TJ Anderson.
Oh, tried to score attempted a Michigan at the weekend,
Yeah,
which I loved to see. If that had on TJ, if that had gone in, the entire place would have erupted.
I
It probably would have
mean,
gone absolutely mental.
like, so obviously he didn't make my top three because he's already got more than enough hype around him. But what I will say is, like Aiden Wilson, he's got potential that we've definitely already seen in the past season.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to him being full time with the Raiders, rather than being on a two-way with the Buccaneers, because I think he's just going to flourish.
yeah. I honestly is. He's one of the people that he doesn't give up very easily.
Yeah,
Puck
no,
wise, he looks and he sees that someone's behind the goal with a puck and he goes and attacks. It's not anything, you can't really ask much more from him.
yeah, I mean, absolutely phenomenal player, and I hope he stays with the Raiders for at least a good another 2-3 seasons. But I definitely think he's elite league material, and I mean, if we can hold on to him, I'd love to hold on to him because he is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, he's a Romford boy through and through, so we'll have to see.
So we'll see.
Right. Do you
So
want
on to you, Brody.
my top three? And
Go on.
I haven't got a cheeky bonus because
Oh, no cheeky
no,
bonus.
because I've actually listened to the rules and I've actually listened to the rules that I set out. So I'm gonna go from third to first for mine. So
That's first. Cheeky.
third for me, two way, one of the two ways. I've gone between Bucks and Raiders. I've gone for Harvey
Actually,
Briggs.
yeah,
Now,
that's definitely a solid choice.
the reason I've gone for Harvey Briggs is because when he went out against Peterborough and Invicta, I immediately noticed that he was there. Some two ways they go out and they are a little bit slow starting. He came out of the barrier and just gave it his all. And from being quite young, well, very young actually, and being on a two-way with Raiders at that age is actually brilliant for him. And for the Bucks, he was a standout last year, and I think he could definitely put in a good shift for both teams this year.
I mean, like you said, a lot of two ways. They're a bit shaky when they first get on, but when he got on, in all the preseason games, it's like he's been in that league for years. Like he was confident, and you could see that in the way he was playing. 100%.
Yeah. So my number 2 is Max Van Mullem. Pretty obvious that he was going to be up on my list because he is, as we've already covered too much, and probably and in the interview as well, we've covered that he is very good and that he can put in the
Lots of potential. Yeah.
exactly. So that leaves my number 1 spot, and I've actually been thinking about this one. I've actually been racking my brain trying to think about who I could put in first, and who I think will. And it might be a bit of a, thing like, oh, what is he? Why is he first? But it's not going to be like that. And I'm going to say, Aiden Wilson is my first place because of just, first of all, his speed on the ice is actually quite good. And I've noticed that. Like, he can actually get up the ice quite quickly. But also, he is the stick handling is incredible. And his attack is just even better. So I think he 100% deserves to be my top spot for this season, with the most potential and just stand out as well for me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why he was on my list as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I did lie. I've got a bit of an honourable mentions that I've got to put out there.
Oh, so you do have a special pick?
I do have a
As,
pick.
go
Yeah,
on.
Sean Miller is my special pick because obviously we haven't seen what he's like properly in our league yet. But I think hockey wise, and I've watched a few of the training sessions. Him and also Andrew Schufelt are just incredible. And the other night at training, Andrew Schufelt was actually almost leading like one of these drills and telling the players like, this is how you do it, this is how you do it good. And it was lovely to see because them two are imports. We want them to stay. We want them to have a lovely time here. And they are both incredible people, and they are both incredible at ice hockey. And they're not gonna go unnoticed this year because they're, first of all, Schufelt has just been scoring hat trick after hat trick for some reason. Don't know how he's just gone out there and just decided to, boom, he's out there and he's doing stuff. But Miller has been incredible as well. So I think them two definitely deserve honourable mentions from me.
Yeah, 100%. So, should we move on to our 3 picks across the league?
Go on then. Yeah, actually, I'll go first.
I was
There
gonna
you
say
go.
you're on a roll. You can go first.
Exactly. I'm on a roll with my talking. And do you want me to be brutally honest with you?
Go on.
I woke up this morning and forgot to make them. Forgot to pick. I did, but
Go on, off the top of your head.
Hang on, it doesn't say that I can. There was no rules in this that I can't go onto the Elite League into our website and just have a look at the rosters. So we're gonna have a look quickly. So Joe, what you go ahead and
So,
say yours.
I'm gonna go first to third, like a normal person.
I mean, like a normal
So,
person.
my first pick, I mean, it's gonna be obvious once I say his name, is Kieran Brown, captain of the Leeds Knights. He put up
What a shocker.
122 points last season.
One of them was a Michigan as well. Don't shy away from that fact. One of them was a Michigan.
Oh mate, that should be worth 5 points, surely.
What do you mean worth 5? But if that was the case, everyone would be attempting them, and we wouldn't have any goals in the league.
It was a joke. It was a joke, guys.
It wasn't a joke. He was really serious. He put it in his diary this morning.
But yeah, no. Captain the Leeds Knights put up 122 points. I mean, why would you not keep an eye on him? I think he's gonna keep doing really well. To be fair. So on to my second pick. And so I actually had quite a hard time because obviously with these new rosters, I've only seen Phantom, so a lot of this is going off of word of mouth across. Well, I mean, across Facebook, Twitter, and looking at the scores across the games. So one of my other picks is actually gonna have to be, drum roll please.
That was a terrible
One
drum
of
roll.
my
That's getting cut out.
that is staying in. So my second pick is actually the netminder for the Swindon Wildcats this year, Tyler Pear.
Tyler
I
Pear.
mean,
Fair enough.
Tyler Pear. I mean, so he only played 15 games last season, for the Wildcats, but he had a absolutely phenomenal save percentage of 90%. I mean, only conceding 1 out of 10 goals, pretty solid. But if you look at his statistics from like his past two other teams, the Leeds Knights and the Bristol Pitbulls, he's actually on an upwards trend with his save percentage. So I'm interested to see if that continues. And yeah, I think he's definitely a solid netminder. So I mean, we'll see how he does. And for my final pick, I'm gonna have to go with Emil Svek for the whole Seahawks. I mean, I saw him play last season. I mean, he's one of the players I love to hate. He plays well, and yeah, sometimes his plays aren't my favourite, but I can understand why he's gone back to the Seahawks, because I think he's gonna smash it out of the park like he did last season with 111 points.
Yeah.
So, are you ready for your three, Brody?
Oh, have you done? Oh, I actually lost track there. I didn't. How many have you done? Have you done yours?
Yeah, I've done all three.
Right. Oh, this is going to be difficult to do. Need to find right. I am going to first of all apologise to this player because I'm probably about to butcher their name. Third place on my list, like a normal person, third to first, is Jordan Buessa for Leeds Knights. Jordan Buessa, I think that's how you say it. Scored 4 goals in pre-season against the Sheffield Steel Dogs, and it was a brilliant performance for him. You can't complain about that because he was up there scoring goals, making sure his team are winning, and yeah, I think he 100% deserves to be on my list after the performance he's had.
Yeah, he was pretty solid last season as well. I mean, he put up 52 points in 44 games,
Yeah,
and he also put up two assists in the Elite League, in his 5 games playing for the Glasgow Clan. So
yeah.
yeah, definitely a phenomenal player, with some great potential.
Right, number 2 for the Swindon Wildcats. Jake Bricknell. So I've picked him because I've heard his name mentioned quite a bit. And he did score during pre-season. I'm just trying to find the game against Bristol Pitbulls, and I believe, if I've got my facts correct, he did get a hat trick. Which, what more can you ask for from a player? A hat trick during pre-season against a decent Bristol Pitbulls team. Yeah, I think it's that you couldn't really ask for much more. And then my first place, and here's where I'm probably going to get absolutely rinsed by people, and here's where I'm going to get told that I shouldn't do a podcast anymore. But I'm going to go Harry Gulliver for my number one. Second season at Milton Keynes, he scored 2 goals on the weekend we played Invicta. He's now settled in. He's ready, and I've seen his potential during training when there was a little bit of pre-season open training at the Sapphire, and I think he deserves to be on my list because he was standout then. I don't know whether he would be first on my list. Actually, if anything, I'd probably reverse that and probably do Gulliver, Brick. Was it Bricknell? Brick.
He doesn't want to get cancelled by the Raiders fans.
Yeah, exactly. Brickle. How do you say his name? Can't find his name.
I mean, putting Gulliver on your list is definitely understandable. I mean, 27 games, 32 points is.
Yeah, I would probably do Gulliver last, Gulliver third, Bricknell, the new Canadian forward for Swindon, second, and first would have to be John Buessa for Leeds Knights. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, well, back to Gulliver, like 32 points, 27 games, definitely a good ratio of points to games. It's over a point per game, and
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be settled at Milton Keynes. I'm not too sure how much their roster's changed, but I think it's looking pretty similar to their last season squad. So I think he's gonna fly this season. I think he's gonna do great.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, when I found out he left Raiders to go play for Milton Keynes, I was gutted because he's definitely a standout player. He gets on the ice, he does his job, like he puts up points, and that's what he needs to do.
Yeah, definitely. So I was only informed before this episode that Harry wanted to talk about recent updates to the Department of Player Safety. So, for everyone listening to this podcast, if you just want to skip forward a bit because this bit's all technical and boring, then please be my guest. I'll leave a time frame in the description of where you should skip to, because here's where he rambles on for about half an hour, and I'm gonna sit here and listen to him, and maybe he might interest me. So, Harry, go ahead.
Right, so before I say anything, I'd like to say that the only reason that Brody was not told about this more in advance is because the document was only released 8 hours ago. So in that time
oh Christ, we can class this as breaking news. That happened
yeah,
8 hours ago.
So yeah,
Brilliant. Yeah.
They released it pretty much bang on before the first game of the season. So all right, time to dive in.
Time to bore people.
So kick up your feet and don't nod off because this is important stuff.
Grab your popcorn, people. This might take a while.
The Department of Player Safety is an independent body overseen by the EIH, which manages disciplinary matters within the National Ice Hockey League. And the game review panel reviews on-ice incident and applies further penalties if necessary. So, what the Department of Player Safety is all about is making sure the right penalties are given for unsafe behavior. And
Sorry.
what I'm really pleased to be able to say is the game review panel is now composed of 2 very experienced referees who are retired now, who
Oh.
both officiated in the EIHL, which is Dave Cloutman and Matt Thompson. So
Oh, Matt
shout,
Thompson, I've heard of him.
shout out to them, because hopefully we're going to see a lot more
Ooh.
consistency in the Department of Player Safety.
Can I
And
just? Can I?
it's
I'm so sorry. I'm really
yeah, no
sorry
worries.
to butt in. Just I might as well give the league a bit of a clout thing here. Obviously, we look when an incident happens on the ice. We look for the document, the official document, to say what's happened, what penalty they've got, and all that. If you go onto Twitter and search up NIHL DOPS, they've got an account set up where you can go and look at every single suspension notice for, I think, basically every single. Oh, never mind. It was a thing ages ago, but I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, just make sure if you want to do anything, go look at that there.
And it's great to see that in this release they've given a lot more clarity to everyone on exactly which penalties the game panel will be reviewing, which will be all 5-minute major penalties, game misconduct penalties, checking to the head from behind or boarding, and major and game misconduct penalties. So it's great that because there's a bunch of details on how the review process works, which I'm not gonna completely go into, but it's great to see that they're requiring teams to upload their footage as soon as possible after the game, so they can make sure that every player that's committed a penalty that needs to be reviewed, mean that it can be reviewed and they can be penalized as soon as possible. And it's great to see that they're being a lot more open about it than they were last season, because a lot of the time last season I was quite confused on some of the choices, which isn't a criticism on the DOPS. I think it's just kind of how they came out and how they were read. But this is looking like the start of a very good Department of Player Safety, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle various things. But I think overall it's a good thing for the league, and it's definitely going to make sure that checking to the head, checking from behind, boarding, and all that stuff is going to be dealt with the right amount of severity, because concussions aren't great, and we need to keep the players safe, right?
Well, that is the whole point of the Department of Player Safety. Yeah.
So shout out to the Department of Player Safety for putting this out. It's filled me full of confidence.
You done?
I'm done, yeah.
Oh, blimey, that didn't actually take that long. Right. People, you can wake up now. Wake up. Right. I wanted to get into my final thing, the final thing of the episode. And that is, who do you think is going to win the league?
Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Brody.
By the way, if anyone's listening, Ed Brad specifically, if he says that a team's going to win the league and they don't, we can just beat him up if we need to. No, we're not actually going to do that. But you get what I mean.
So, see, there's various different ways that I could say this. I could say who I think's gonna win the league, who I want to win the league, or yeah. So I want to say it wouldn't surprise me if Leeds or MK were at the top again, because they're strong squads. But I think definitely, I don't think you can count Raiders out fully. even though obviously I'm a Raiders fan, I wouldn't straight go for them to say win the league because obviously new coach, new manager. It's a new era for the club, so it might take a while before we start topping the table. So I'm see, I could go with the safe option and say Leeds Knights, or I mean, whole Seahawks. I think definitely have a pretty strong squad. They came fourth last season, I think. So I don't actually think that you can count them out. Because when they turn up and play good hockey, they turn up and play good hockey. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What about you, Brody?
I'm gonna say my top three. Mine's gonna be a little bit interesting because I'm just gonna base off of like what I've seen so far and what I've heard so far. So third place for me, Sheffield Steel Dogs. The reason for that is because they are predicted, first of all, by many people to actually be quite high up due to just they've almost rebuilt like us in a way.
Yeah, they're
And they
now
are, yeah,
officially affiliated with the Steelers, right?
yeah, exactly. So that we got that, and then we've then got probably second Leeds Knight. Oh no, MK. We'll go MK second and Leeds Knights first. I'm gonna go the safe option. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, solid choices. So
It's on. Fucking hell. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And we hope that you're excited that season 2 is here and we're ready to, put in the effort, put in the work. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for taking time. And thank you so much to Max Van Mullem, our main guy, the major glazer.
no, you're the
for
major
us.
glazer.
We're the major glazers at this point. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone for the support that we've had. We're hoping season 2 is going to bring bigger and better things for us. And yeah, just make sure to keep an eye on our socials because there could be updates of any sort. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week. Next week,
Leave
maybe
us
the
a
week up.
review on Spotify.
Leave us a review on Spotify if you want to. But we might see you next week. We might see you the week after. We don't know what week we'll see you. We might see you
Hopefully, we'll see you next week with
next week.
another amazing, high quality episode.
Yeah, and also maybe a guest if we
Maybe a
can do
guest.
it. If we can do it.
Guest pending. If we can't
Guest
get a
pending.
guest,
Oh, I can post that. Guest pending. But yeah.
if
Anyway.
it might just have to be my dog. That might be the best guest we get.
Yeah. But anyway, also, if you have any suggestions on what we could do on the podcast, because we are looking maybe to not just do classic podcast episodes, but maybe, I don't know, we play video games whilst chatting, or we do something like a little bit different. Please DM us on Instagram, or I might even create a little Google form for our description that you can go and fill out, and we can have a look and see what happens there.
Even if you feel like it, do it the old school way. Send us an email at gbpuckdrop@gmail.com with any suggestions, and
you can do that as well. Yeah,
we'll definitely take every single suggestion into consideration. Because we're always looking for new ideas on how to make our podcast more engaging and better for you guys at home that are listening. Well, maybe you guys at the rink that are listening, depending on where you listen to your podcasts.
Exactly. But anyway, thank you so much, and we hope that you'll enjoy that season 2 has had a great start. I really think it's had a great start. So anyway, thanks so much everyone for listening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
See you next time. Hey, don't go just yet. I've got a couple of messages. So, Abigail wants me to pass on, love you, best bud Brody. That's a very sweet message. And also, shout out to James Gill. What a legend. This one is for you.